Imagine yourself struggling to find your way through a tight underwater tunnel, your breath short and your lungs gasping for air as the darkness surrounds you. Can you feel the overwhelming pressure of the cave, the weight of not knowing what lies ahead? Join us as we explore the depths of despair, where nature's unrelenting fury awaits. Think of the horrors of facing nature's unrelenting fury, a calving disaster that's hard to imagine. You might recall the John Jones crazy putty tragedy we covered, or the incident that occurred in Utah, one of the most infamous caving tragedies in the state. Another caving disaster happened just 4 years before, the Gollum's Cave tragedy, known as the Cave of Death in 2005. 5 friends embarked on a journey to a cave in Provo, Utah. Only one of them emerged from the depths. This is their story. Provo, the 4th largest city in Utah, is just 43 miles or 69 kilometers from Salt Lake City. Despite its urban appearance, the area is rich in caves, attracting adventurers looking for subterranean thrills. In August of 2005, Scott McDonald, Blake Donner, Jennifer Lai, Ariel Braith, and Joseph Ferguson set out for a cave near Y Mountain, nicknamed Gollum's Cave by some. This narrow passage was once a mine shaft fed by underground springs, despite its ominous nickname. The cave was just a short hike from a local golf course. Jennifer Galleth, despite having experienced hypothermia and passing out during a previous venture through the watery tunnel, reassured her friends that they could hold their breath and swim the 15-ton journey to the adjacent cave. Blake Donner, Scott McDonald, and Ariel Singer agreed to join her at 3:00 a.m. The friends gathered at the cave's entrance, where a guide rope was waiting to lead them into the depths. Joseph Ferguson chose to stay outside, jokingly calling the site the Cave of Death. This decision would prove to be fatal. As the others ventured into Gollum's Cave at 4:30 a.m., an hour and a half later, Joseph Ferguson was the only survivor. Armed with just one flashlight, he would be the only one to return. Upon entering, they followed a river-like route to the left until they reached a small cave that contained a water pool and a passage leading to the main cavern. This passage, about 15 feet long, required them to swim and was guided by a rope, which provided a feeling of safety, with Jennifer leading the way. One by one, they went down the narrow passage, which was filled with cold water barely wide enough for one person to swim through, and 4 feet high. By following the rope, the group smoothly made their way through the tunnel and emerged into the larger cavern without any problems. This cavern had ceilings that sloped at 6 feet and was believed to have enough air for safe exploration. However, trouble began during the return swim. Caving experts who were familiar with the cave mentioned that although the initial swim with the guide rope seemed easy, accidents could happen if the cavers accidentally let go of the rope and had to search for it in the murky water. This search could stir up sediment, reducing visibility and making the situation worse. The visibility could drop to near zero, disorienting anyone nearby. Another caver who had been there before shared a similar experience of accidentally swimming past the exit hole on the way back, which made finding the exit more difficult. Swimming in water with reduced visibility, compounded by the presence of 3 other swimmers, might have made it impossible for the friends to find their way out. Additionally, carbon dioxide poisoning could be another risk, as the air quality in the main cavern might have been poor. The air could have been filled with carbon dioxide, which is a common problem in cave environments. This bad air refers to any air that is not the usual mix of 21% oxygen and 79% nitrogen, with trace amounts of other gases in stagnant caves with closed water sources. The buildup of carbon dioxide was a significant concern. Several factors contributed to the increase in carbon dioxide levels, including visitors spending time in the inner chamber, which gradually reduced oxygen levels while increasing carbon dioxide levels. The natural erosion of limestone caves and plant decay also added to the carbon dioxide buildup. Evidence of candle flames, this further reduced the amount of available oxygen, with no air circulation, leading to higher concentrations of carbon dioxide near the water's surface. Unaware of the deteriorating air quality, the friends likely faced challenges with their mental and physical abilities even after a short stay in the confined space. Being in this compromised state, the risk of attempting to swim back would have been high, as they were not prepared for the worsening conditions. The narrow tunnel and limited space meant only one person could exit at a time. Jennifer, who exited first, probably had a hard time locating the exit hole due to the lack of oxygen. The diminishing oxygen levels would have significantly reduced her ability to hold her breath, potentially leading to unconsciousness in just 60 seconds. In a desperate attempt to survive, she would have frantically searched for the exit, while her friends remained oblivious to her struggle in the suffocating darkness. The cave, which once seemed like an exciting adventure, turned into a deadly trap as they succumbed to its relentless hold. Thoughts of the outside world, filled with hopes, dreams, and the presence of loved ones, would have been a stark contrast to their current situation. Meanwhile, Blake and Scott, already struggling in the oppressive atmosphere, would have felt the effects of low oxygen and high carbon dioxide levels intensify with each passing minute. The darkness only heightened the sense of panic and discomfort as they entered the tunnel. After a brief wait, Blake, in a weakened state, would have felt a sense of urgency to escape. His friend's motionlessness would have caused confusion and alarm, complicating their navigation through the narrow passage. Attempts to aid Ariel would have been nearly impossible. Joseph Ferguson, alone in the dark inner cave, would have endured the longest suffering, desperate for escape. His journey through the tunnel would have been halted by the sudden absence of his friends. He may have succumbed to unconsciousness rapidly. Joseph Ferguson patiently waited outside the cave, unaware of the unfolding crisis. It wasn't until 45 minutes later that he sought help. An emergency call was made at 6:30 a.m., 2 hours after the group had entered the cave. Emergency crews faced numerous challenges upon their arrival, as many responders were unfamiliar with the cave. The rescue mission ended in tragedy, with all 4 friends found drowned in the underwater passage. Their bodies found side by side, facing the same way as if they were trying to leave their journey, took a tragic turn as the cave changed from a source of intrigue to a quiet memorial to the harshness of nature. Their bodies had run out of strength and air, unable to resist the cave's unyielding hold. The fight was over, leaving behind a quiet stillness in the underwater cave after the event. The cave was closed off with a plaque in honor of those who died. Even though the water has stopped flowing from the entrance, Rance's name is engraved there as a solemn reminder of the lives lost in the depths of Gollum's cave. Subscribe for more interesting videos. We'll meet you in the next video. Until then, signing off. Thank you for watching Exploring Tragedies.